Good afternoon. I've had a few questions from people about the flying stuff. So in order to make it easier than sending messages, I thought I'd do a video. Do it. It's great fun. It does cost to get your license. The one I've got is a microlight license. So which means you can either have a flex wing with a crash helmet, goggles, and you're outside with a bar, or you have a fixed wing like this one. It can't have any more than 2 seats to class as a microlight, and it can't weigh any more than 450 kilograms at the moment. That's like you, me, the fuel, and the weight of the aircraft in total. They teach it down here at Sandown Airfield. The instructors are awesome, really nice guys. Aidan does all the microlight stuff, and you've got Jim Burney and co that does all the heavier stuff in the Cessnas and things. To do the course, when I did it, it was about just over 100 quid an hour, but that's from engine on to engine off. It's probably a bit more than that now, because I mean the price of fuel is ridiculous. You need to do, for the microlight one, you need to do a minimum of 25 hours, but some things you might be good at, some things you might not be so good at, so bear that in mind. Sometimes you'll need longer lessons to do certain things. Try and keep it regular if you can. I didn't. I kind of, weather and other things got in the way, so it took me a long time to actually do it. But it was actually 10 years today that I did my first solo. Facebook reminded me. So yeah, it's minimum 25 hours, and you don't learn to take off first and all that kind of stuff. You get up in the sky, and it's supposed to be enjoyable. It's supposed to be fun. So you know, have fun doing it, or have a trial lesson. Again, speak to Aidan at Sandown Airfield, and he'll help you up. Dan's got a cafe here if you want to come down and just watch some aeroplanes. You can. He's got does all pizzas and all sorts of stuff, and does Sunday roasts and things. So why don't you pop down and come and have a look. Yeah, if you ever do want to buy an aircraft, then it's like Ford Fiesta money. It depends on what you're going to do with it. If you're going to use it all the time, then you can buy one that that you're going to be more comfortable in. Or if you're going to use it not so often, then you can get a smaller one. The most expensive thing that I do is the hangarage, is to keep it. This is a canvas. The wings are canvas, so the UV affects the material eventually, so you've got to keep them under shade really, if you want it to last any length of time. The other one before this was I recovered, and that was expensive, but it's but yeah, they do fade. The skins on this one are pretty tatty, and it needs a wash. You can probably see there's like mildew and all sorts on it where it stays in there. As long as the windscreen's clear, it's all right. Yeah, you can buy a little flex wing for 1,500 quid, that sort of price, if you're looking. If you wanted something a bit like this, I've seen one of these going for about 4 or 5 grand. I think it was going for up to about sort of 20 odd grand. And all the all singing, all dancing microlights, they can be 60, 70 grand onwards, and they've got everything, all like screens, beautiful aircraft, and they're super quick as well. I mean, these aren't designed for speed. They're designed for sort of looking out the window and waving at people. Yeah, if you get a chance to do it, just do it. Even if you want a pleasure flight one day, then you can always get in contact. Go on Facebook and speak to the guys at the airfield and stuff. Every now and then down here they get helicopters and stuff. You can go for a helicopter ride if that's your thing. And they also do skydiving and stuff down here as well. They sort of go around places and they come down here every now and then. Yeah, so it's worth doing. If you can keep it, then go in with someone. You can share an aircraft 20 ways legally, but trouble is when it's a nice day, all 20 of you will want to go flying. But if you've got a friend, then you can halve the costs. The cost of a microlight to renew, they do it like a permit to fly, which is like an MOT. So every year it has to be sort of tested. You can do a lot of the maintenance yourself. A lot of it has to be countersigned. And some stuff you can't do. You have other people have to do it for you. But the GA stuff, again, you're looking at 5 grand a year to get sorted out and stuff like that. So that's a lot of money. So a lot of people aren't doing the GA stuff anymore. They're going to microlights because the technology's come on leaps and bounds, and they're super quick. And they're going to hopefully change it to 600 kilogram weight as well. So for like fat Americans. So yeah, it's well worth doing. This one's people ask me how much this is worth. This is probably worth about 12 grand, something like that, I would have thought. There's a a website called AFORS, AFORS. If you go on that and scroll down till it gets to you've got flex wing microlights or fixed wing, go through and you can see the costs, and you can see some pictures of different aircraft on there as well. But yeah, and it's great fun, and when you're learning, you know, you might have days when it doesn't really go as well, and then days when you're super duper. But if you can keep them regular, it does keep it in your head before you forget everything that you've just learned. You have to have another lesson for it. Yeah, you get to do you've got to do 2 cross countries to other airfields further than Bembridge. And then you've got to do that on your own when you finally go solo. And you never ever forget your first solo, the first time you ever go up in an aircraft without anyone sat there, and then you remember that forever. And I remember every second of that. I remember it was awesome, and it's great fun, and it's not a rich man's thing really. I mean, it can be if you get something like, you know, the ones that are those out there. Some of them are very expensive, but it's you know, I work for Sydenham's. It's fine. You can do it. So yeah, do it if you can, and if you want any more questions answered, then yeah, ask me.